Good day. Simply smashing. Welcome to the stream.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Qyjari's Curious Crafts. Was that a smooth transition? Did she do a good job? She's flying solo without Big Brother tonight.
I'm allowed to talk this time.
Can you hear her okay? We'll do a mic test.
I think I'm good.
Can everybody hear her? Look at chat.
I am.
Okay. All right, guys. Tonight we're making a Grell. I should also ask if you can hear me okay. Can they hear me okay?
Yeah, we're good, I think.
Okay. All right, so you guys chose...
Someone's following me.
Oh, that's so cute.
Sorry.
Okay, so you guys chose 172, page 172 of the Monster Manual, 5th edition, and that was the Grell. So I had from Tuesday night until today to come up with a Grell, and I think I did it. That's my Grell. And tonight we're going to learn how to make him, or her, or it, or they. All right, let's get started. Here are the tools and materials you're going to need. And I won't go in order because I can't see the screen. So the tools, you'll need wire cutters, needle nose pliers, a box cutter. I actually started using this more recently. It's a very fine, you can actually use the full blade out there if you need it. And I like that. You'll need a toothpick. Ooh, I forgot a clothespin. Oh no, here it is. You'll need a clothespin. You will need scissors, paintbrushes, a bunch of paint colors. Was that on materials or tools? Materials. I'll put that back there with materials. You'll need a nice cutting pad. And I think that's it. Is there something I'm missing from the list? Gotta pay attention. Gotta pay attention. No, that's materials.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, materials. Foam, floral foam. Now, there's two things you could use. This one it's really gritty when you touch it, but it smushes easy. Like you go to the store and you find that kids will go in and they'll just smush it like that. But when that happens, it flakes off. And I did my first one. This one was done with this material. And I just decided, working on the second one for the stream, that I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to use regular styrofoam. So I got a styrofoam ball, and this is obviously way too big. This is, I think, about it's a 2-inch. Looks like a 2-inch one. But we're going to trim it down using our box cutter. You'll also need some Sculpey clay, and I actually have a small bag of it that I have scraps in, so I'm not going to open this, but this is what the box looks like. You can get it at Walmart or your local department store. You will need Gorilla Glue. Jamie introduced me to Gorilla Glue. Thanks, Tranquil. Regular all-purpose glue. A piece of black, or I bought this dark charcoal gray felt. I like it because it looks like, I don't know, like a cave floor. So I actually bought it I make Christmas ornaments, and I made it make little Scotty dogs with it. But I have tons of it, so I use that for my vases. You'll need a 1-inch washer. You will need these black tinsel pipe cleaners, and now's the time to go get them because they have them in the Halloween section of the hobby stores.
Yep.
You will need, you can use an 1/8-inch dowel rod. This is actually a skewer, but you can use, I'm not going to use it. but you can use that if that's all you have. You can also use, I discovered this too, one of these straws that you put in your, those to-go cups that have the little thing at the end. We break these all the time and I throw them away, but I thought, why, we could probably use that for the stand part. What I'm going to use though is, it's a floral pick. I think, actually my sis in Boston sent me years ago one of those edible arrangements. Remember that? It had like pineapple with chocolate on it and stuff. And it had these little picks in it with the fruit stuck on them. And I just washed them all, saved them all for whatever reason. I thought, well, that'll be a good little way to support this floating, flying object.
Tranquil said that I'd use wire.
Yeah, you could use wire. He's not that heavy. He might get top heavy though, or front heavy, I should say, with his beak, because that's sculpy. And his brains are sculpy too. So I don't know if he'll be too top heavy for wire. I guess you could use a heavy gauge, like a 12 gauge. Or maybe doubling 18 gauge would help. I don't know. But I'm going to use these floral picks because I have them and I've already put together the sample that I'm going to use tonight. So it's already glued. Because I had to use Gorilla Glue. I think that's it for materials. Anything else on that list that you can see? No, we're good? Okay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the Sculpey to make, where'd I put it? I'm just looking straight at it. We're going to use the Sculpey to make the beak, and we're going to use the Sculpey to make the brains. And the reason why is because this takes some time to cook. Now, I'm not going to get my little oven out and do the whole cooking bit like I did with the OG tree, but because I already did them. But after we make this, I'll show you it done, and then we'll paint it because that'll take time to dry, and then we'll be able to apply it later while we do the other stuff. So, so we're going to make the beak first. We're going to take a piece. Let me just get another piece here. You have to knead it. The Sculpey is it doesn't dry out. You can leave it out in the air. It does not dry out, but it does get crumbly. So you have to kind of work it. Use the natural oils in your hands to just soften it, and then flatten it out as much as you can with your hands. And then what I do is I use a glass jar, or you can use a rolling pin, I suppose. Ask Mom first.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get in trouble. So you'll get that as flat as you can. It's a, I don't know, I guess a 1/16. You'll squish it a little bit more. So whatever you feel like you can work with. And this is going to have to be something that you try on your own, as far as the pattern will be in the PDF. But for this purpose, you'll need to just sort of guess. Until you get the PDF, if you're a patron at a $5 level, you get the PDF and I'll have the pattern in there to make this. But if you follow along, it's no big deal. The description on the Grell says that he has a wide beak. And I made the mistake earlier, a couple of days ago, when I started this project, after Tuesday, when you guys decided that's what I was going to make, I made the beak too small. I made it very narrow. I'll show you. And I actually plucked it off. It's really tiny. And it just didn't look right. Is that coming in focus there?
You can go a little bit closer. It's hard to see. That's good.
I turned the autofocus off, so tell me if it's doing the in and out thing.
We're good.
We're good? All right, awesome. So it's too, they're too small. I'll save these for some other beaked creature in our future. Okay, so we're gonna just make a wide beak. And it looks sort of like the tip of a, or the bottom of a heart, actually. But the tip, I was thinking the tip of a spade, you know, like in cards. And that's the beak part. So it looks kind of like that. And then you just pinch this little beak part here. And then what I did was I used a pen to kind of form the circle, the pen lid. But you could use the end of a paintbrush or the end of a small pair of pliers or whatever, anything like tubular shaped. I like the pen because it actually had the same kind of pointy shape there. So that's the top part. And we're not gonna need all this part right here, but just keep it because we're gonna have to use it to work with the rest of it. It has something to hold on to. Okay, so that's that part. And then the lower part of his jaw is rounded. It's not as fine, sharp as the beak, but it tucks underneath. So we're going to get that lower jaw. And that's just not as big because it goes under his beak. And it's sort of rounded at the top, but we'll round that in our hands. And again, it's about that thick. You see that?
Yep.
Okay. But we're going to actually squeeze it, make it a little bit thinner. We're going to get rid of that little tip. Stick it there. And round that off a little bit. And I'll use the pen once again to kind of give it a curve. And that'll be the lower part of that mouth. So it's kind of hard to see. It's so small. But those are the two parts. Before you fasten it, though, to each other, you're going to want to make a tongue. He has a little big tongue in there. Can you see that? How's that, Clover?
Yeah.
See the pink tongue?
Little baby tongue.
Little baby tongue. So you just need a little piece for that. And you can actually pull that off with your hands. It doesn't, you don't have to cut it. It's very pliable. And there you go. It's just like a little, I made it extra long because I'm going to put it in from the back. So I always end up with my nails poking it and causing dents in it. And I don't want to do that. So we're going to squish that. So it looks, I don't know whatever shape that is. And that's going to go on his bottom jaw like that. And you don't have to glue it or push it together. Just lay it in there and maybe squeeze the end to adhere it.
Tranquil said to cut your nails so that you don't keep.
I know. They're short. Look at, they're not very long. Okay. So I'm going to squeeze. This is really hard to see, but I'm going to squeeze the sides together. Just overlap a little bit. Can you see that okay? And then squeeze that right there. Pinch it so that it sticks. Turn it over and do the same thing to the other side with the jaw. The bottom jaw on the bottom. Or underneath, I should say. Okay? And then we'll just, boop, give him a crook nose.
A little crooked nose.
Yeah, like a very sharp beak. And then make sure he's aligned, or maybe he's not aligned. Maybe he's all crooked. Maybe he beaked up the wrong tree. Okay. So then, anyway, when you get done with that, you can squeeze the little ends here. You'll probably end up trimming this part off when it goes onto his face. He doesn't have a face. He has one beak and a mouth, and that's it.
And a brain.
And a big brain. Zombies love him. And then because it said it was a wide jaw, we're going to give it a squeeze like that and make it wide. And there we go. We're going to make it gaping though, like it is in the picture. And there you go. Easy peasy. So we're going to put that in the oven. Or actually, we're going to set it aside and use a parchment paper. We're going to set it aside because we're going to put it in the oven with our brains. And brains are easy. This is the easy part. You know how to make snakes? Remember how you made snakes with Play-Doh?
Yep.
Easiest animal, Play-Doh animal ever.
Yep.
Let me put that away. Okay, so we're gonna roll this out about an 1/8 inch thick. You can see I started it already, but it's easy to do. And I did the first one in sections and then kind of mushed them together. But the second one I did it all at once, and it really doesn't matter how you want to do it. I am working on my cutting board, but if you need to work on a surface where you can easily peel it off, maybe some parchment paper. I use tin foil. I'm out of parchment paper. I need to buy some more. Okay. Let's see how many. This is 10, 11 inches about. We may not use it all, but, or we may need more. I don't know. But you're going to want to make the brain able to cover the 1-inch ball. And that's not going to be easy to test. You could make the brain after you're done with the ball part, but I wanted to show you ahead of the of that part because of the painting situation and finishing it all in a stream. So, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna bend the brain parts. Can they see that okay? It's so tiny.
Kind of.
I did like two turns and then I turned it like, oh, my fingers are getting in my own way here. Like that. I'll try to keep it in the gray part there so it's easy to see. And I just went around and around, kind of pushing it into the other so it stays. And I just made like a few sections just like this and then pushed them all together. And that's not going to be enough for this whole brain, so we're going to need more. But once you get done with this part, then you can, and you would do another section here and another section, enough to make probably a kind of a 2-inch circle, and then you can trim it if you need to. Anyway, just keep going all the way until you have your brain. Like that. Imagine it's much bigger. Then pick it up and give it a little push together. And then you'll drape it over once the head is done, you'll drape it over the head, make it fit the form, and then take it off carefully, and then put that on your parchment paper or your tinfoil. And then you would cook it at 275 Fahrenheit for 15 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Yep, and then when you're done, this is what it will look like. Brains!
How'd you finish it so fast?
I know, I didn't even do the oven bit. I should have done the oven bit.
Yeah.
I would have taken out the wrong one like I did last time. And here's the finished beak. And it's pretty sturdy. I mean, it will chip off if you try to, but it won't bend or anything. Don't try to adjust it now. It is too late. So I wanted to paint these first to set them aside so that they'll be dry when we work on the other part. So as you can see, the brain here I did on this one, it's got a black underneath. I did the whole thing in black, and then I did a dry brush with the wisteria. And actually, I said wisteria on the instructions, but I ran out of wisteria and had to find hyacinth. Or did I put hyacinth on the thing? I don't know, whatever. So, I didn't go over paint colors, did I?
You did not.
That's okay. All right, you'll need black, obviously. You'll need a dark purple, and that'll be for the head, along with the black. You'll need the hyacinth, like I said, for the brain. You'll need this ripe tomato, and that'll be for the legs. You'll need the golden sunset for around the beak part, and then pink for the tongue, and then a little bit more on the beak. And I'll show you what I already closed the book. But the book shows that the Grell has a little bit of pink on the side here too. So that's what that's for. Okay, so that was the paint. So let's get painting. These will all get painted all black to start, because that way it covers all the white.
Alright.
Are you following along over there, Clover?
I know I am.
Okay. You can see I worked on this today because these are still wet. Oh, the paint farted.
Oh.
I know. Okay, so we're just gonna give that let me move up here to the center.
Yep.
We're gonna give that a thorough coating. Get in all the nooks and crannies. If you have to use a smaller brush, that's fine. And this will dry before we have to. This acrylic stuff dries quickly. I'm gonna do the inside too, because that'll push the paint to any parts we might have missed as we went through. What is so funny?
Rylan said, I'm gonna need you to hang on for about 13 minutes while my clay cooks.
Gotcha. Speaking of Rylan, and you can put this up on the screen, both Rylan was #1 and Rainick was #2. I guess I got the whole R thing going. They are my new subscribers, because guess what, guys? I got affiliate. I got Twitch affiliate. After last Tuesday's stream, they sent me a note. They said, an email, a note, and said, congratulations, you qualified to be a Twitch affiliate, which means I can now get subs. subscriptions to this channel.
There's no thing for it.
It's on. Oh, I didn't put it on there. Oh well. Sorry, that's my bad. So yeah, I was very excited about that. Guess what? Remember how you joked about going the extra few minutes would, I think Rylan said it, going the extra few minutes afterward and before helped build my hours? You were not wrong, sir, because I needed 8 hours to get affiliate for a 30-day period, and the total they sent me was 8 hours and 8 minutes. So it was perfect.
That's great.
So now we're doing the beak, and we're gonna do the inside too. Oh, I'm getting filthy here. I know, but that's okay because this is acrylic paint, and it washes off very easily.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Unless it dries. Miss never cleans up her paint after she paints. I can't even see. I gotta get my readers on. Cause I'm old. Oh, there we go. Oh, I missed a lot of spots. All right, and we can touch it up once it's on. Oh, I didn't get the upper part of that. It's really hard to see. How's that? I know my fingers doesn't help. They're all right. I'm gonna set that aside on this already painted paper plate, and I'll have to touch that up later. But anyway, that'll dry later, and I'll wash my hands out with this handy dandy cup of water that I keep here. Oh. Okay, so then the next thing that we want to have to try to paint, and it will take longer than I have time on the stream, so I went ahead and painted it ahead anyway, but I'll show you how to make it, and we'll just pretend to paint it, because I already have it painted, or I already have another one painted. I got a paper cut the other day, last night, was it, Clover? From a piece of tin foil.
So it was a metal cut.
It was a metal cut. Man!
It's much cooler than a paper cut.
Well,
if you ask me.
it hurt. Okay, so I have my water here anyway. I could wash that out. All right, let's set that aside. Okay, we'll need the black again, but we'll set all that aside. Okay, so what you want to do with the foam ball is we're going to first cut it down to as close to 1 by 1 as we can. And I tried to use the smaller blade on this, but this smaller blade is actually flimsier. So it's got greater length, which would cut all the way through, but it's flimsier. So I liked the sturdiness of this one. Ooh, that's probably popping the mic.
A little bit.
All right, well, we'll do it quickly.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Is it?
Wasn't a red.
Is that bad, guys?
Relative is fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Nana Casey's trying to FaceTime.
You didn't answer it?
No.
Okay.
Okay. She can just get on the stream. Okay, so we've chopped this down to a 1 inch by 1 inch square. And we're just going to take our hands, our fingers, and squish the corners and kind of make it rounded into a circle. Now, if you can find 1 inch styrofoam balls, obviously you don't have to do this. However, I kind of liked this idea because it made him lumpy. It wasn't very smooth. It wasn't just a nice round head. So this one worked out for me because it gave him a little bit of unnaturalness to it. It wasn't a complete circle.
Murdering styrofoam.
I know. I won't even save those bits because it's hard to work with. This is hard to work with. I use them for my snowmen. Well, not anymore. When I make sock snowmen for my ornaments. But, because I just shove them in the sock. But this is, there we go. Here, let me clean all this up. Oh, and here's something else. And you'll see that why I brought this down in the first place, but it helps with this as well. One of the things that I find invaluable, and Tranquil, you'll want to get this too, when I craft, to get all these little bits up, a lint roller.
Oh yeah, that works.
Because we're going to be dealing with, guess what, Alex's favorite, glitter. It's not really glitter, it's like tinsel glitter. It's like, well, you'll see. It's a surprise.
Tinsel and glitter.
It's To glitter. No, that doesn't sound right. Glinzel. Glinzel's better. Okay, so we've done that, and then what we do is take the toothpick. This is where your toothpick comes in, and push it into the flattest side. And the reason why you want to do the flattest side is because that's where you're going to put the legs at the end. Well, what, not legs. What are those, tendrils? Those tendrils, yeah. Tentacles? No. So you're going to poke that in there, and that's just to hold it while you paint. So it's like a little popsicle. Snowball. Marshmallow. Don't use a marshmallow. Okay, so you'll paint that, and you're done!
We did it!
I did this earlier. I knew that this takes a while to dry. It wouldn't take the end of the stream, so you don't need this anymore, but I'm going to leave it on there just to hold it. And we will work on the legs, because they take a little while.
Cake pop.
I know, well, yeah, it got burnt. So, alright, we are going to use this, though, because that tinsel, glinsel, gets everywhere. Other side. Is there a question?
Tranquil said you could also orient the tendrils so that one of them is actually stand instead of...
Yes, you can do that, because we're going to use these pipe cleaners, these black tinsel pipe cleaners. And the reason why you want to use the pipe cleaners that are tinsel is because they'll form that jaggedness on the end. Let me get my book back out, because this made a difference. Let's find 172 again. Did I label it? No. What did I do with it? I can't see. 172. Here we go. You see, it's got these little spikes on the ends of his tendrils.
Yeah.
And those really work out. Those really look great with the with these little tinsel parts, because you're going to cut off all the tinsel on the wire and leave that part. Tranquil actually had a great suggestion. I think he mentioned this, a mascara brush.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bend. You could use the end of it.
Yeah, you could.
But but you couldn't bend that stick unless you wanted him to have tendrils like this, which it's not.
Yeah. That doesn't.
So.
Expensive too.
Yeah, though. Yeah, unless you could buy them in quantity at a
dollar store.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So these these came in 12-inch lengths. So I just decided to make it easy and do 6-inch or 3-inch lengths, so I could get 4 out of each one. The Grell has, and I'm just gonna guess at this. The Grell has 10 tendrils, 5 on each side. 10 drills. This one's going to be longer than the other. Oh, that's not bad. So what I did was I just took my regular scissors. Don't use mom's sewing scissors. Use the utility scissors. She's got her hands up like, not me. I don't ever do that.
I've never done that before.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to snip along the edge, not the wire, but along the edge. See that tinsel, that glinsel getting everywhere? Until you get to about 1 inch from the end. And just keep turning the wire. Yeah. Can't see. And not cutting the wire, but cutting just the... I cannot see. There we go. All the way up to the edge. And trim it as close as you can, because the rest of the leg, I keep calling them legs, the tendrils, are very smooth. And I should have trimmed a couple of mine better, but I didn't, so I'll have to go back and trim them later. Okay, so then it also has at the very tip like a spike, almost like a, what do you call them, a stingray has that little, or a scorpion.
A stinger or whatever.
Yeah, so we're gonna trim about, I don't know, 3/8, 1/2 inch off the tip. And now they do look like mascara brushes.
Yeah.
But this is a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So I got like 50 of them for $3 at Michael's. So there you go. Ta-da! And just do that to 10 of them. We're not gonna do all 10 on the stream, because this is not a mushroom show.
Yeah.
That mushroom show is gonna go all the way through October, I have a feeling, because as soon as I thought, oh, we're near done, then I thought, no, we still have to make bridges
Oh, yeah.
and the hanging trees and the hanging vines, and
Yep.
we're a long way from being done with that. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I already made these, so, because I had to paint them, but I'll show you what I did to paint them. I used red on this section here because the tendrils are a reddish purplish color. So we'll just do that real quick. And I already painted the 10 we need, but I just wanted to show you. And have another one ready if I want to paint more. Or make more. Now this is not solid. We want some of that black to show through just to give it a little depth. And in fact, if you want to, you could add... Oh, that water got dark fast.
Did you get fresh water like just before the video?
Yeah, just
Wow.
before the video. Yeah, well, when you paint with black first, it does that.
Yeah.
So you want a little bit of red on there. And this is tomato red. It's like an orangey red. But I liked it. So you can see there that the tendril part is definitely now different. Let me put it in my hand. Color-wise than the rest of it. That's those black spikes at the end.
Like a lightsaber.
Oh yeah, it does. Okay, so you'll do that to all 10 of the tendrils that you cut. Rinse that brushes out. I do not want to get paint on my new cutting pad Daddy bought me. Okay. Trash can. Alright, so I'll set these aside. So I did those. And ta-da! All 10 of them. Already done. Don't you wish you could craft as fast as I can?
Yeah.
Alright, now the other thing that takes a while is to put the base together. And that is how we're gonna use the why, when, how? It's why we're gonna use the felt and the 1-inch washers. There we are. So just take a piece of felt. You can see I've made a couple of them already. And just trim off. Don't want to get paint on it. Now you could use your sewing scissors for this because it's fabric. I always cut, and I'll show you close up when I finish cutting this. I always cut about an 1/8 inch away from the edge, and that's and I'll make it circle because I want to be able to, once it's done, I want to be able to then tack it up like this to cover the edges.
Okay.
So that's the felt base. And then we'll we'll glue that on using just regular Elmer's, let it dry, and then we'll take the cutter and cut through here, the center. And then we're going to poke this stick that I decided to use, this, well, in this case it wasn't a flower pick, it was fruit. And that'll just stick right in there. Perfect. Or you can use your 1/8 inch dowel rod. And glue, 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 glue. Ta-da! And you can see I haven't tacked it down yet, but this is very sturdy. It's ready to go. And like Tranquil says, you can use wire if you'd rather. Or his tendrils could hold him up. Instead of having a base at all. You could take the base completely out. Just rip that sucker out and his tendrils can hold him up.
Would that work?
Yes.
It does work.
The only thing that's bad about that, though, Tranquil, well, that just fell over. But you don't know what space he's in.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas having this base in there at least shows that he's in this section here. He's a medium creature, so he's only in a 1-inch by 1-inch section. Hello, Drake.
Hello.
Guess who just joined us in the studio?
Also, I'd like to shout out to Rylan for reminding me of something that I asked everybody on my stream last night to remind me of.
What?
I want to get the BlizzCon virtual ticket so I can get the Demon Hunter skin in Overwatch.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting that too.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Well, I don't care about the Overwatch thing, but I always get the pet. I always get the BlizzCon pet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our base, and our head is dry. We don't need this anymore. Boop! We can push that in there. And there we go. We have got our Grell's base. And guess what? The head's still not dry yet. I need to blow on it. Is that coming through? Is that spiking? It's not working. Okay, so that may not be ready yet. But we actually had to paint this a purple color. So boy, I didn't think ahead of that. I had to paint it. Okay, let's just paint it.
Okay.
Everyone gets the idea how it's going to turn out. Okay, so this one, the body of it is this dark, what did I, eggplant? Purple. You can see I used it already. And we're just going to cover the whole thing. And it doesn't have to be solid, because I like a little bit of the black to show through.
Okay.
Because it just gives a little depth and character. And the brain is not completely solid, so whatever purple is underneath will show through a little bit. It just spins on there.
Brains.
Brains. Did you see what I posted on Twitter earlier?
I did not.
I was making the brain that I just painted.
Yeah.
And the girls were in the kitchen with me, and what you cooking, Mom? Brains. I'm not hungry.
Yeah. Gotta go find it.
Go find what?
That.
Oh, yeah. He's just over here looking at his phone. Everyone have big plans for the weekend? Drake, do you have big... Well, I know you don't. Clover. Homework and whatever else you have to do around the house. You should probably get your room clean. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to dry too. That's going to take a little while to dry, but that's all right because we've got the legs to install, and we've got the beak is... It's mostly dry. Dry enough. Let's work on the tongue.
I am feeling bacon pancakes though.
You're feeling bacon pancakes?
Making bacon pancakes.
Making pancakes?
Making bacon pancakes.
Making bacon pancakes? We're not having... We had pancakes last night. Alright, so I'm just... This is not going to be very easy for you guys to see, and I'm probably going to mess this up not having it right under my eye, but I'm just going to give that a quick... How'd I do, Clover?
Nice.
I completely missed it one spot. And he's got some on his beak. We'll cover that. But there's the little tongue. Goes in there. Can you see that okay? We'll fix it in post-production. Alright, and then we get the red part. The yellow part. The golden part. That's along the bridge of the nose. It's nose. I keep calling it this thing like it has human features. I keep calling his tendrils legs.
Oh, you're in for a treat. Just wait. Rylan and I are
Conspiring?
conspiring.
Nice.
We're perspiring against you.
It's not hot. Well, it is kind of warm
It
down here.
is relatively warm.
I turned the air down.
I'm wearing a hoodie.
You're nuts.
She's also
Alright.
a twig.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
I went around the whole thing with that, and then what I need to do, and I'm gonna do this off screen because I will mess it up if I do it this far away, because I'm about a foot away from this thing, guys. I'm going to give it like a widow's peak on its beak,
Oh.
a widow's peak
Oh,
on its
widow's beak.
a widow's beak. So I'll do it. I'll do it like this, and then I'll bring it back to you, and sort of like that, but maybe not as prominent.
Okay, you ready for this?
Oh, what?
It's 45 seconds of gold. I'm gonna put it under here so everybody else can see it.
As long as it's not copyright material.
It shouldn't be.
Great. Oh, jeez. Alright, we're not having that for dinner. We had pancakes last night. You're nuts.
I'm so happy with this.
We are so gonna get sued. I just got
I stopped it right before the actual.
I just got
copyright
affiliate, and they're gonna take it
And
away
you're
from
gonna
me.
get a ding. Not really.
Okay, so I'm just putting a little pink
I've
on the
done
sides.
worse.
There's some pink on the sides.
Oh, I want to see what people say.
It's Friday. Can you tell around this house it's Friday? I'm gonna have to go over this a little bit more with.
Amazing.
Ah! I completely messed that up.
Uh-oh.
Okay. It's because I'm doing this so far away, and this is such a tiny little thing.
You could, like, move your head forward.
No, because then my hair will get in the way. And I made that widow's beak terribly. So I'll have to repaint over that and do it again. But you get the gist of it. And he's still got his little tongue. I don't believe that's the sound they make. But maybe in my game they will.
Ancient Red Dragon. Hello.
Who is Ancient Red Dragon?
Well, they said, "Hi there." Hi.
We allow all dragons into this lair for sure.
Dragons are the best.
I agree with that.
Sir Mimsy says hello, and if you follow me, he will say hello to you on the screen.
She really wants to
maybe
do
you
that.
should follow.
No
Also,
pressure.
Congrats on at least what 2
I have,
subscribers?
we already did a call out to my subscribers, whom I love and adore. In fact, another shout out to Rylan.
Oh, hey.
What?
I'm here because Soup Gargoyle was hosting.
Oh, that's right, and I followed him. Yeah,
yeah?
Yeah, I did. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, Soup Gargoyle watched on Tuesday night.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Rylan sent me these gloves. Aren't they awesome? Remember how I complained about my hands getting burned every time I played with the glue gun? And now they won't. Thank you, Rylan. You're the best.
Rainick.
What did Rainick say?
I need more Clover follow muscle in the background audio going forward.
I know, she's being a little reticent about talking, but yeah, she needs to step it up there, babe.
And then I heard some copyrighted material.
Yeah. She's just giggling is what she's doing. Oh, was that the dragon said that?
Ancient Red Dragon said I was listening while I do some Twitter stuff.
Yeah.
So you were in the background, and then I heard some copyrighted material.
I know. Stop that. He's in big trouble. If we get sued, I'm blaming him. I'm taking him to court. Okay, so now we're gonna put the brain on our Grell.
Dower sent you the gloves?
Rylan did.
Right.
Rylan.
Big old Joe said you mean Dower. Dower sent you those gloves.
I'm sorry. Big old Joe did. Rylan sent me the...
Big old Joe, me. Yeah.
Joe, I am so sorry. Joe sent me the gloves. I know. Joe, I follow Joe. He is Riff and Rabble Joe. Let's talk about Riff and Rabble. Because guess what I'm watching tonight while I'm playing WoW?
I didn't say gloves.
Guys, it's Friday, and I haven't had a drink yet.
Happy Friday, everybody! And
Get scared! That welcome scared Clover to death. She's like peeing her pants over there.
I just sent up the Ribbon Rebel screen and then that popped up. I was like, what did I do wrong?
Ancient Red Dragon, thank you for the follow.
Yes, thank you. Okay, yes, big old Joe. Joe, thank you so much. Do you have Riff and Rabble on the screen?
I do.
Tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern. Watch Riff and Rabble on Twitch here. And that's giving a shout out to Callie and Lauren and Joe and Travis and Dave as they play some D&D tonight at 10 o'clock East. Okay, and Joe sent me the gloves. Joe sent me actually 2 pairs of gloves.
Oh, nice.
But one of them's a little big, so I offered to send it back, and he said, why don't you give them to Tranquil? So guess what, Tranquil? When I come in Florida, you're getting a pair of gloves. Woo! To handle the hot stuff. Because, you know what, Joe? Tranquil just got a new glue gun. He's so excited about it.
Nice.
He was like, these glue guns rock. I'm like, how is it you've just got a glue gun and you've been crafting all this time? So, okay, let's get back to our craft project. But Joe, thank you for the gloves. They arrived yesterday or today? Yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, yesterday.
Joe just said, we're doing the Storm King's Thunder. Everybody come on by and say hi.
Yeah. In fact, I meant to get the logo to put up. I wasn't sure what campaign you were on, but yeah, they're doing Storm King Thunder. So I will be watching tonight while I play World of Warcraft. I won't be able to hear you, but I can watch. I'll give you smoochies.
Don't need a glue gun if you bind everything together with wire.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, he's actually very right. Rylan gave me the speaker that we don't have working right now because we had that echo, but we will get it working.
Yes.
And we'll use it in Florida for sure because we'll have a D&D game. Oh, let's talk about that while we're in Florida. First of all, let's do crafting with Jamie because that definitely is set. That is on the 25th. It's a Tuesday, and that is going to be at Jamie's place. And we're gonna set up the whole stream. and he's gonna show me something. He said, I have it all ready to go. What is it, Tranquil? You've got, I don't know, he's making stair steps. I don't know what he's got going on.
Sounds interesting.
He probably won't even tell me until last minute, so it'll be a surprise for everybody. What? Weevils?
Weevils.
I'm not sure.
With a B.
Weebles?
Weebles.
Well, I'd rather have Weebles than Weevils.
Not Weeblos. It's not a Boy Scout thing.
No, but Weebles because they wobble and don't fall down.
Oh.
Weebles wobble, but we don't fall. Oh, never mind. You guys are too young. And then we don't know what day or time that week, but sometime that week we will be doing D&D with the Banana Brothers. And that includes Adam and Garth and Philip, and of course Jamie will be DMing and playing his... Are you going to play your rogue? Or are you just going to sit her out while you play, while you DM?
Oh, and Rylan got your Weebles Wobble reference.
Oh, good. Well, Rylan and I, we're kindred spirits. Actually, Joe should get it too. We're kindred spirits also.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. So that's
Yes,
that's our Banana Brothers D&D game that we'll be streaming sometime that week. All right. Is that screen gone so we can get back to crafting?
Yep.
All right. Maybe I've talked enough, and some of this stuff is dried. So we're gonna put the dry brush on here. And Joe, one day I'm going to actually get that Riff and Rabble stuff right and not mess up gifts that people give to me, because apparently I am 0 for I'm 0 for 5 on bits, and I'm 0 for 2 on calling out Riff and Rabble. So I don't know. I start all over again.
Yeah, we're just gonna scrap this whole stream and redo it.
Start all
We'll let you know what the new URL
redo.
is later.
All right, yeah. All right, everyone should know by now how to dry brush if you follow me, but if you don't, I'll show you real quick. Dry brush is basically using a dry brush and wiping off most of the paint that you're planning to use. Typically you do it with a black or a white because it kind of gives a shading, but we're going to do it with the wisteria. So we're going to put a little bit of paint on the end of the brush, take most of it off, and then brush across the top. And this allows the black undertones to show through. And so it highlights the brains. Like that. And you do want to make sure that your project is dry before you do the dry brush, because then it'll all just blend together. So I'll have to redo that because it wasn't quite dry, but I wanted to show you the process. And I might actually put some beige or white over the top of that to give it even more of a little bit of a highlight. This one highlighted better because I waited until it was dry. You can see the difference there. Yeah? Okay.
Good talk.
All I see is Clover gets her head in real close so she can see and doesn't say a word. So I'm just looking at her like, yeah. That's why she's the assistant producer.
I'm getting there.
She's getting there. Okay, so now the legs. They're easy peasy. Just gonna push them into the bottom. Whoa. Where'd I put the legs? Oh, here they are. We got 10 of them. And what I did on this one is I lined them up 5 on this side, turned it around, 5 on that side, because that's how it is in the book. Now in the book, they had them kind of swerving together, but I realized that these tendrils are kind of long, and they actually got past my base, so they rocked. So I had to kind of push them up and made them wrinkly a little bit. So you can cut them down if you want, but I like kind of having them long like that. Okay, so I'm not going to do it because this is still wet and I'm going to get paint all over me, but you just push them in. That's why we use styrofoam. Just push them in. Once they're in though, all 10, 5 and 5, you're going to want to glue them. You can just use regular Elmer's glue. That's why we brought it. Oh, by the way, you wanted to use the Gorilla Glue on the base. When you glue this base on here, that was Gorilla Glue because that's like, what is it? It's like, what's that permanent stuff? Crazy glue.
Crazy glue.
Yeah. It definitely holds it better than Elmer's or even a glue gun. Glue gun's not going to work on that. So you just push them in and then just line the edge here with a little bit of glue, and on the inside there, both sides, and then on this side. And then just let it dry and it'll be fine. Then we're going to glue where'd I put the brains? Oh, here they are.
Nobody move, I dropped my brain.
I don't know where my brains are. Well, we watched Disenchantment last night, and there was it's hysterical. I love that show. But there was a knight that had a sword through his head, and he pulled the sword out, and then it's Matt Groening. And his brains, it's the one who made Simpsons and
okay.
Futurama.
Oh, yeah.
And his brains kind of glopped out of his ear. It was hysterical. Then he fell dead. And then he ended up stabbing himself again. So it was kind of funny.
I was going off Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, brains? Yeah.
Yeah, remember
Yeah, but that reminded me of that from last night.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the cap goes on the head like that. The cap,
hat?
his brains. Yeah, his little brain hat. And just glue it on. And I had to make this brain without this being done because I did this on stream. So I wasn't sure if this would fit. So it doesn't have as good a fit as you'll have when you make your own brains. It sounds so funny coming. When you make your own brains and then form it to the ball before you cook it. And it'll fit much better because it'll have the natural form of the ball on there. And then you'll just glue that down, and you see there's a little bit of a gap. Looks like he has bangs. Brain bangs. And then you'll glue the beak in. Where'd I put the beak? Oh, here it is. Right there. Now imagine the legs are on there. And imagine that's glued. And imagine it looks good.
Imagine it's all just done.
Yeah. And there you go. There's your Grell. Yay! Clover gave me a round of applause. And I'm all goopy again. Okay, so now I need I'm pointing at Clover like, do it. It's put up the question mark one. What is that one called? Drake?
Design help.
Design
I knew
help.
That. I was just, I know.
You know that one? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm washing my fingers in this water. Design help. And I'm not even going to ask you guys a number this time. I want another challenge for not this Friday, or not next Friday, but I have to look at my calendar. What's the first Friday in October?
Six.
No.
No, spot 5th.
5th.
Wait. Yeah, 5th.
The 5th. For Friday the 5th, something I haven't made yet. If you guys want to come up with something, just type it in chat, and I won't let you vote on it because I have to know that I can actually try to do it. But I'll look at your suggestions and I'll pick one for the 5th. Because we won't be doing a Friday show again until the 5th when I'm back from Florida. But you can take the question mark down now.
Oh.
Tune in on next Tuesday. We're continuing our work on the Shade Merc. I will be working on the mudding this weekend. Much to my husband's chagrin, because he's probably like, aren't we going to play WoW? And I'm like, no, I'm up to my eyeballs in paper towels and mushrooms. But
Out of context.
totally out of context. But then we'll be crafting with Jamie on the 25th and having our D&D with the Banana Brothers sometime that week. And then you will see me again on the Tuesday after that. I don't know when that is. I'll put my schedule up and go to Discord, get on my Discord channel. That's open to everybody who watches. Just come on in and chat. It's a small group. We have a good time when I remember to check Discord. And or you could type it in Discord if you want to flip through the book and maybe look at it, look through the book and decide what you want me to try to make. You can put it in Discord too, and then I'll take all those suggestions. And I will...
I've already got a couple.
Oh, yeah? What are they? I want to know.
Well, Joe is suggesting basically anything dwarven. Something dwarfy.
Yeah, he plays a dwarf in his campaign.
Gotcha.
So it's got to be...
Tranquil suggests a will-o-wisp.
A will-o-wisp.
That would be interesting.
Okay.
And Rylan suggested an intellect devourer.
Ooh, another brain!
Yeah, basically.
With
You're already
feet.
halfway there.
I can do that. I just put a feet on him.
Yeah, they use the same brain to add legs.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, well, I'll think about all those, and we'll do that for October 5th. But that's way in the future. In the meantime, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I'm looking at my checklist, Clover. I'm looking at my checklist. I did the welcome, the tools and materials, the next broadcast, I did Shade Merc, I did the schedule. And I thanked everybody, and I did Riff and Rebel this time. And that's it. Thank thank you so much. What? Oh, Patreon. She's pointing. She's like, do your Patreon. Okay, yeah.
And your coffee.
Yeah, I will do the coffee also. Thank you so much to my patrons. I love you all very much. What did she do?
Sorry, nothing. Go ahead.
that gasp though.
She did a gasp, I know, right? And I really appreciate all your support. And if you want to pledge, I have a Patreon. The links are all below. And what else do I have? The coffee. We are trying to get a Blue Yeti. We have 1 week left to get this Blue Yeti to take to Florida, because the Blue Yeti I use right now is Drake's, and he's not going to Florida.
And I stream too, so we have to keep on plugging mine to go between this computer and upstairs. And
Yeah, we're 2 flights away, so I keep running upstairs to his room and stealing his Yeti. And would you put the coffee up? It's already up there. We're at 58%, so getting there. And thanks to Lissa Rue, who well, I wasn't gonna call her out.
Oh no,
I wasn't gonna call her out. Oh well. She bought me some cups of coffee last week, or no, Tuesday.
Some? I thought it was 1.
No, she bought me 4 cups of coffee.
Oh snap!
I know. She's such a sweetheart. I love her.
Welcome.
Oh, you guys, everyone who joins the stream and follows me, it scares Clover to death.
It's really funny to watch.
It's hysterical because
We have a Clover cam.
we should, yeah, we should, because Jimmy Sherwood, who does the voice of Mimsy, did a little bit where he says welcome, and so every time it comes up, she jumps out of her skin. It's hysterical.
I clicked something without realizing it. And he's like, oh no, I did something.
Well, call out who followed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone now. I'm sorry.
Right there. That's why you
Oh.
this up.
Hey,
That's why that's there.
iStar 105 is just followed.
iStar.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thanks,
Welcome.
iStar.
Welcome.
Welcome. We can't do it like Jimmy
Yeah,
Sherwood
no.
can, so.
I'm not gonna try.
And then what was the last one? You said YouTube? Yeah, she's I do post all these videos up to YouTube. I try to do it the very same night, but if not, the next day for sure, because I like to put a little, clip art and stuff on there.
Right.
And all my previous videos are on there. There's still videos on demand here on Twitch, but there's some missing because they go away after a while. But if you want to see all of them, they're on YouTube, and the links are below. I don't know where the links are.
Put yourself.
The links are below.
There you go.
If I may.
Yeah.
I should be streaming tonight.
Okay.
It's my Fright Night Friday. I'm basically playing a scary game. So
I'm not watching.
If anybody wants to come hang out, I'm
what
not sure
what
when.
time? Okay, you don't know
But
when.
my schedule currently is like 7:30 Eastern, but it could be a
Well,
little later.
Can I play with you?
It's not multiplayer.
I am watching Joe. Sorry.
No, I get that. I'm just throwing it out there. Also, Ancient Red Dragon said, "Are you going to stream end your stream by raiding someone?" I think we should actually get into doing that. I keep forgetting that that's a thing.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, that's why I'm here.
That's why he's my producer and moderator.
But you better not be doing Riff and Ravel. What Rylan said. It'll probably be later, I imagine. I don't know how long they go.
They go from 10 to what, midnight,
Is that
Joe?
Eastern?
Eastern, yeah.
Oh. Then I have no idea. I can't guarantee anything.
He does play late though.
I do play late. But as for raiding somebody, that would be a good idea. We need to have a good list of people we could raid.
Oh.
Yes, rate. Like how?
Raid.
Oh, raid? Oh!
Meaning we host somebody. Instead of ending our stream, we host somebody else, and all of our viewers get kind of pseudo thrown into their stream.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. We
Yeah.
should do that.
So, if Riff and Ravel were to be streaming currently, we could totally raid them all the time, but that's just that's just an idea. But anybody else that is live right now, you could do a raid.
Oh, I see. That's a cool idea. We'll try that. Also, what was I going to say? You made me forget what I was going to say, Drake.
I'm sorry.
It was about the, I say too much. We talked about that Tuesday.
Oh yeah, that's right. We need to get you an jar.
An jar.
You give me like a nickel every time you say
I'd be broke.
Yeah, exactly. I could use a little bit.
That's what we get paid.
It was
10%, he gets 90%.
I can't think of it. It seemed like it was semi-important. It was people hosting, and I do host Riff and Ravel at 10, so I will have them on. It
Right.
was anyone who subscribes to my Twitch channel you also get the PDF. If you're not a patron, you also get the PDF because that's the same rate as my Patreon account.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if you have an Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription, and if you're not already spending it somewhere, you can spend it here on me. Is it right? No.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The people live currently are 3 people, and two of which are big names. Geek and Sundry and D&D, so
Okay.
actual wizards. And then you also have Riker's Iron, doing something creative.
We can do that one.
Okay.
You're following them. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, here, let's see real quick. Just 'cause I don't want to have it.
Well, let me look into whatever everybody does, and then we'll auto host. We'll auto host someone who follows. Maybe didn't you say that Twisted might get into doing some of this
He might
crafting
be,
stuff?
But if he does it, he's gonna do it on YouTube.
Oh, I
So
see.
you can't
Also,
follow him,
Raynick
right?
said that he was going to start streaming some stuff too, so maybe
yeah.
we'll raid his channel once he gets going.
Yeah. So Raynick, hurry up, man.
Yeah, and then we'll raid your channel. Okay, well, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you so much for following, and thanks to my new followers. I really appreciate it. Thanks for scaring Clover. That was hysterical. And we will see you on Tuesday. Have a good night.
I can do
She
it.
wasn't prepared.
No, wrong one. Hold on. Wait, no, I can do it. Hold on. Wait, where is it?
I get $1 for every you say.
It's not fair. It's right here. I found it. There. Okay. Oh yeah, and I gotta mute it. Okay, bye.